Fisherman's Park, where amongst the backsplash of the Atlantic Ocean lives a colony of feral cats. Felines are generally domestic creatures. When one lives in the wild, it is either lost or has been abandoned. This fate can lead to an earlier death, as cats are territorial, and it's usually the more aggressive cats that survive. Put into the mix fleas, ticks, tapeworm, and feline leukemia, you have yourself a potentially unhealthy situation.
Hi, I'm Mary Slavin, and I'm a member of the Cape Breton Feline Support Society. We take care of strays and what we call feral cats, and cats that have been abandoned. We try to help them all. That's where they tend to collect, in areas where there's a food source available. And it could be campuses or hospitals, restaurants, any place where they can find food. If the colony gets too big, then the more strong animals take over, and the kittens and the other weaker animals aren't getting the food, so they end up getting sick, picking up diseases. They pass on these diseases to the other cats, and you end up with quite an unhealthy, sick colony. This is where we step in, and we try to we go with a program that's called TNR. It's Trap, Neuter, Return. What that means is we come down and trap the animals, get them neutered by a vet who has agreed to participate in our program by giving us a fairly good price, and then we bring them back and release them into the colony. Then they're healthy because they're getting food. They're not always searching for food. They're not always having kittens. The colony stays a certain size. We've seen cats that have been very emaciated and sick, and after we've taken them in and had them spayed and neutered and returned them, made sure we had feeders come on a steady basis to feed them, they've turned into beautiful cats that look just like house cats, and actually some of them have even been adopted from here. When they are trapped, a lot of the groups, not our group, but a lot of the groups will have them vaccinated as well to try to prevent leukemia and those diseases that are picked up when the animals get unhealthy. So our group just doesn't have the funding to do that at the present time, but we do definitely get them spayed. That's the key. The spay-neuter is the key to everything, even the domestic cats. People that don't have their cats spayed and neutered, you just have to go down to the shelter and see the result of that. There are traps called live traps that you trap the cats, doesn't hurt them. We keep them in the traps overnight, take them to the vet in the traps. Then when we get them back from the vets, one of the volunteers will take them home for the night just to make sure that the anesthetic is worn off enough for them to be released. These are what the traps look like. They're quite user-friendly, and we set it with the food in the back, right beyond what we call the trip. And it just opens in the front. And when the food is inside, we set it like so. The food is right in the back, and the cat walks in and walks on the trip, which is right here. If I can get it here. And it slams down, and there's no way the cat can get out. The only problem is they go frantic in here. So what we have to remember is to bring along a sheet, any old sheet, towel, whatever, throw it over the cat immediately. Keep the trap completely covered. Then they'll settle down nicely once they're inside and they're covered. But if you don't cover them, they lose teeth and claws, and they get all cut up flying around in the trap. So and we keep the cover on them for the whole process, even the trapping, taking them to the vet and releasing them. So, and there's some pretty healthy cats here, so we feel that we've done a fairly good job.